Welcome to Being Friends with Jess and Toni-ann, an inside look at our friendship, millennial things, sports, and pop culture. Come laugh with us, or maybe at us, and let's be friends.
But
Anyway,
we're back.
welcome back, friends.
Hello, everyone.
Yeah, 2 episodes this week because I'm gonna get better Wi-Fi finally, guys.
Woo! This is the
Thank
last episode on Optimum.
Yeah, F you Optimum. Like, don't even get me started on that whole situation of like the phone calls that you have to make when you're changing providers, because that's a half hour of my life I'll never get back.
Only a half hour. That's pretty good.
No, well, I mean, I did like the chat with the Verizon people, so I didn't have to talk to anybody. And then I was on the phone with Optimum for a half hour, and most of it was the guy like talking in circles. And I was like, please stop. And he also spoke like, when I say spoke in circles, like I mean like Pedro from Napoleon Dynamite. Like, you know how Pedro's like, if you vote for me and vote for me, and he just keeps saying like, and if you vote for me, like this guy was like, and I have a deal for you, and I will give you this deal if you just let me explain this deal. And I'm like, I don't want to hear the deal. And in my head the whole time, I was like, I have to call my brother right after this and tell him that I just talked to Pedro on the phone.
Yeah, that happens. They really want you to just give up and hang up.
It was so annoying. So annoying.
But you were successful.
Yeah. Anyway. You want to do ridiculous things first, and then we can do China?
Sure.
After. Let's switch things up this week.
Yeah, why not? Variety is the spice of life, which, as I discussed on a previous episode, is really like my saying lately. I don't know why.
It's just like funny because I feel like you don't like variety.
I absolutely do not. Like, I claim that I love variety, but it's about things that literally don't matter. Like, those things I'm fine to switch up. But like anything else, anything that like means something or is important, I do not want variety at all. Because I cannot make decisions. I hate making decisions. I hate having options. And I'm very stuck in my ways. So it is ironic I say that.
Yeah.
But I'm trying to think a ridiculous thing for me. I don't know. Do you have one off the bat? I might have to think for a second.
Yeah. Let's talk about how ridiculous it is driving in the tri-state area during rush hour.
Okay. Oh yeah.
Okay. Anyway, so when I go to the office, I go like 40 minutes to my parents and I drop off my kid. And then I travel to work, which like my commute from my house would be a half hour, but instead like I could get to work in an hour and 15 minutes from my parents' house, which like again, they're watching my kid for free, so I'll take like the long ride anyway. So this morning I drop off my kid. I get a bagel and I get on the road and like it says I'm gonna get there at like 8:46. I'm like, okay, great. Like that's not bad. So now enter me on the parkway. The parkway is like a parking lot by the time I get on it, which like, okay, like not parking lot where I'm not moving. It's just like, you're moving slow. And then it tells me to get off like 3 exits before I normally get off. So I'm like, oh wow, like there must be a really bad accident if it's telling me to get off because like it doesn't do that. So I get off and now I'm like taking the back roads with everyone and their mother, probably trying to avoid this accident. And everyone is turning like at point like 3 miles per hour. You have a green light. Why are you turning so slow?
I
The
know,
light
that's
is
one of my pet
green.
peeves.
Why are we not going? Like then I get finally to like 24. And anybody that doesn't live in New Jersey doesn't know this, but it was like a freeway because I was like, oh wow, there must have been a really bad accident on 78 because like there's like not even any cars. I'm like, why does it still want me to continue taking back roads? Like, that's so stupid. This is like it's backed up like over here. This is where the traffic is. If there's traffic on 24. No, then I put myself in 20 minutes of traffic for no reason. Literally like got to the front of the traffic and there was no reason for the traffic. It was just like everybody's driving slow for what reason? So by the time I got to work today, I was just like, I hate everyone.
Did you get there at 8:46?
And you know what's funny? You know what's so funny about all of this is that like this only happens like in the tri-state and like around the DC area. And then once you leave there, I've been on enough road trips, as we all know, to know like you drive other places on a Monday through Friday morning and there's no traffic. You're like, where are the people? Does anybody live in this state? Does anybody live in this town? Does anybody go to work 5 minutes out of their house? And then it makes sense that like wild people on HGTV are like, I don't want my commute to be more than 10 minutes because
Yeah.
they don't know what it's like. They don't know what it's like.
Oh my God. I always thought that whenever we watch like House Hunters or something and they're like,
Oh
it's
my
more
God,
than a
they're
10
so
minute
ridiculous.
commute. That's a non-negotiable. And I'm like,
Right.
excuse me?
Right. And like everybody over here, like everybody in our area would be like, 10 minutes? Like what?
Oh, it must be down the street from you. Like, that's what I would think,
Right.
10 minutes.
Right. Like
It takes me more than
Target's
10
not
minutes
even
to get into Hoboken some days.
right. It takes me 10 minutes to like Target some days.
Yeah.
You know? I'm like, what? And then you go to these other places, like, and just no cars. I'm like, it's 8 a.m. on a work day. Where are you people?
And it's so funny that we have so many people on the road, considering we have arguably one of the best transportation systems in the country as well. So
Right.
like, how do we still have so many people on the road compared to other places? Like, well, I mean, you would
Well,
think
I think at that
California's
time
worse than
too,
here.
the other problem with that time too is like I do pass like I'm going towards like Kane and I'm going towards FDU and Drew and I'm like well, not really Rutgers. Like I pass Rutgers on my way to my mom's, but like I don't go back that way past Rutgers. So
Yeah.
like, you know what I mean? Like, yes, I am passing like a lot of schools where like people commute to, I guess.
Yeah. Maybe.
Like, but still, like,
I think
but I
it's just
guess
those
it's just a
roads.
lot of like, I mean, if you think about it, like, there's a lot of buildings in Roselle Park. There's a lot of buildings off 22. There's a lot of buildings in Union. Like,
Yeah.
it's just like a lot of people are going to work in these areas that I unfortunately have to drive through.
Right. You work in an area that other people also work in. So
Right.
what you're saying.
So it's like again, most days it's like I could deal with it, but today was one of those days where I was just like, "Ugh."
I know. It's like the traffic always hits the worst when you are not in the mood. Like
Right.
it knows. The universe knows.
Yeah, it was just so annoying.
And the fact that it's when you get to the end of it, there's no reason for it. That is the epitome of
That's
traffic.
even worse.
It's just
Even
congestion.
worse.
It's literally just congestion.
Right. And people
You ever
just
watch
driving
that?
slow.
You ever watch that? Like, I don't know if it's a YouTube video or it was on like a special or something about how like traffic is like how traffic happens or something. And it like
No.
shows like a whole diagram of like one person slows like 5 miles an hour less than everybody else is driving. And it's just like a domino effect. So they could be driving without stopping and they still just slow down the rest of the people.
Exactly.
So it's just really annoying.
Yeah,
So
it's so annoying.
traffic does suck. And I don't know where I was going with that last train of thought, but I agree with you. It's the worst. I have to say it's not a ridiculous thing, but I couldn't really think of anything else. But I am very happy that I don't actually live in Hoboken proper because today
The hell is
for
Hoboken proper?
like I don't actually like I live outside Hoboken, but I don't live in Hoboken. Like I don't actually live in Hoboken, you know, but I
I've
live
never
in
heard that phrase before.
I just made that up. I just like I don't like saying something proper. It's a phrase. Okay. I am not justifying this. It's definitely a phrase that people in the English language use a lot.
No, it probably is. I just didn't know it, and I was like, "Wait, I lived in the same town as you for 5 years." 5 years
So I
ago,
live
and
right outside of
did
Hoboken.
they just start calling it this?
No. I'm meaning I say I'm in the Hoboken area, but I don't live in actual Hoboken.
Yeah, I got it now.
I'll say it in different words, okay? So they have a water main break every other month. Like today was another water main break. They still are on a boil water advisory like since 5 o'clock this morning. Like they do not have water. And their pressure like only just got back like an hour ago and it's like intermittent. Like it's like horrible flow and like all that. I'm so grateful I don't live there and I'm knocking on wood because who knows if it will happen in my area, but just because I'm like not on the same water system as them, I guess. I don't have the issues they have because I would not be able to deal with that. Like waking up, getting ready for work on what day of the week is it? Wednesday, Tuesday? A Tuesday.
Tuesday.
And you just discover you have no water and you're probably not going to have water till 8, 9 p.m. Hell no. Get out of here.
Yeah.
But
Boil waters and broken mains aren't fun. We've
yeah.
had to deal with 2 broken mains here, but I think a lot of it has to do with like the popes in Hoboken. Pipes in Hoboken.
Oh, speaking of, the Pope is like dying. Did you know that?
I knew that he was in the hospital. I didn't know he was dying.
I mean, he's an 88-year-old man with double pneumonia. I feel like that's bad news
Oh, I
bears.
didn't know he had double pneumonia. I knew he
He's
was
got
in
it
the
in
hospital.
both
I didn't know what he
lungs.
had. Oh, jeez. Poor man.
So, my parents and my sister are going to Rome in like a week and a half. My mom's like, do you think we'll be there for the conclave?
That's what I was gonna say. That would be so bad. But like terrible to say, but imagine they're there for the smoke.
Yeah, that'd be pretty cool, right?
Yeah.
Honestly, I know that it's just because I'm a bad Catholic or whatever. I have not paid attention to a single man this Pope has done since a single thing this Pope has done since he's been the Pope. So,
Yeah, but I can't really like name you things that like the other popes did when I
no,
went to CCD
that's I think my
either.
point. I think that's my point. Like I feel like the Pope's kind of pointless these days.
No, he's not pointless, but it's not like he's the British monarchy or the president. Like, what do you mean?
No.
Like, what has he done? Like, if you went to church, you would know what he did.
I guess. But like, does he really affect what's going on like in a church in New Jersey, let's say?
I think so.
Is that how it works?
I think. I don't know.
You would think
But
religion
I
is something
think
that like doesn't change like laws do. Like, I don't know.
no, but I think like you could be like more accepting of things and like more progressive as a priest. And he
Okay.
was more progressive. That's why a lot of people don't like him, I don't think, because he's a progressive pope.
See, I didn't know that.
I remember that from when he like first started. I can't say that I've paid attention
Oh,
the
okay.
rest of the time, but like I know that. I knew that when he first started, which like I kind of liked him for that because it was like, okay, like we need to get
Yeah.
with the times.
Okay.
You know? Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know, but if he goes, they're gonna have to have the Conclave, which is a new movie that I have not seen yet. That's nominated for a bunch of Oscars, I heard.
Oh, really? I didn't even know
Yeah.
that wasn't. Oh, I don't
Yeah,
know anything
there's like a lot of like
nominated.
famous people in it too. But
Interesting.
I think it would bore the shit out of me because it's literally just about a bunch of priests voting on who's the next pope. Like, how exciting could that be? Pope. Why
I
can't
feel
I
like
not
it
say
would be
pope
very.
today?
I feel it would be very interesting. I think that I would be interested by that. Like I could see it being like 12 Angry Men, but Pope edition.
I was interested in watching that. Actually, that's a great explanation. Honestly,
Yeah.
that's a good explanation.
Who
I
should we
think,
vote for? And like,
yeah, and you have to convince everybody. That's actually really
yeah.
good. I would think
Thank
there
you.
was a show. I don't know if it was a show or a movie years ago with Jude Law called like The Young Pope or something like that. And that was interesting to me because like what would happen if we had a young pope who happened to look pretty like Jude Law? Like I feel like things might get done. Like I don't know.
Oh my
Like
God.
what if we had a hot pope? What would happen?
I can't even take this serious.
This is why our podcast is what it is because you blundered the word pipe and said pope, and we just went on a whole tangent, and we somehow ended up at hot pope. This is just what happens. So, yeah,
Anyway.
I mean, we'll see. I gotta start now. I'm gonna go deep diving on the internet. Now I'm gonna be like, who's the most likely to be nominated as the next pope? And I hope there's at least one guy under the age of like 50. Like,
Yeah, I don't get why we pick like again, but this is the same problem with presidents. Like it's
yeah.
always old people.
Yeah, it's always old people. And like, I feel like why not switch it up? Like, let's have like I know it's technically a different sect of Christianity, but like, how cool would it be to have like one of those like Baptist like praise the Lord popes? It's a different religion. I know. But imagine like every Wednesday, like everybody gathered in St. Peter's Basilica, and he was just like, "Lord Jesus, pray," and it's just like fun.
We need to stop this conversation.
We're going off the deep end here. I'm already going to hell. If you want to be saved,
we're
you can stop this
not
conversation.
going off the deep end. We are off the deep end. Like, we are in the water. We need a buoy.
If you want to save your soul, we'll stop talking about it. Mine's already gone. It's mine.
Oh my God, Tony. Anyway.
Wow, that was an adventure. What's next?
Oh my God. Okay, let's address my double chin and my cocktails of choice the last few weeks.
Sure.
Well, the cat's out of the bag. I'm drinking iced tea because it is my pregnancy craving of choice.
Woo! Yeah.
Well, this is the rest of my iced tea from dinner, and I need more water, so I have that on standby. But yes, we're having another baby, hence why sorry that you've all had to be looking at this double chin for it's out of control lately because my face is so blown up and swollen already.
Well, I'm not gonna be tell the crowd when you're due.
Oh, August.
Okay, I'm not gonna be hearing this all the way till August. We're gonna stop with the double chin slander.
No, I just needed to address it because we just ignored the fact that in some of these angles it really was not good, and I appreciate no one being what the hell's going on with your face. So thank you, everybody. Thank you.
Yeah, thanks everyone for not being extremely rude.
Yeah, so basically the burnt popcorn story was because I had an aggressive craving in the middle of the night for popcorn, and then I burnt it and smelt up my whole house. What else? The pregnancy rage has been real. I look like I'm gonna fall asleep 90% of the time on this podcast because I'm exhausted from pregnancy, and I can't form a sentence or speak because of pregnancy brain. But the other day so I can't smell unless I'm pregnant. Fun fact about me, the only time I can smell is when I am pregnant. I have a terrible scent. No, it does make sense because your smell is heightened. So I can probably smell like a normal person now, but it feels like everything is through the roof. But I can't smell when I have no scent of smell when I'm not pregnant. Anyway. So I went into the office and I was starving. I'm ready to eat my lunch, right? I go into the kitchen and somebody was making something in the microwave, and I have no idea to this day who it was or what it was. But when I tell you, I walked in and I was so disgusted that I had to leave. I had to go outside, go for a walk, and then I was ready to make my own lunch because the smells of any little thing is just rough.
Yeah, I've heard how that happens. I mean, and I'm sensitive to everything, and I'm not pregnant, obviously. So it's I can only imagine once I get pregnant what that's gonna feel like.
No, it's gonna be terrible. I'll never forget
because everything bothers me always.
The first pregnancy, I literally opened the door to the office one time, and everybody knows I can't smell anything. And this was before anybody knew I was pregnant. I was like, somebody eat an orange in here? And then I was like, oh fuck, I can't say that because now we're I'm supposed to be able to smell. But
I think it's concerning if you can't, when you're not pregnant, if you can't smell.
No, I have a terrible sense of smell.
You should probably get that checked out.
I mean, it's fine. I made it 32 years without smelling.
I guess
I'll
so.
be fine.
I'd be nervous that what if there's a gas leak or something?
No, I mean I could smell strong smells like that.
Okay.
It just needs to be strong. You know what I mean?
Got it.
I can't smell I'm not gonna smell a banana from across the room, but when I'm pregnant, it's I can.
Yeah. Okay, that makes sense.
Anyway, so that's fun.
Yay! I'm excited.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be an auntie again. Yay!
Yes, my one child's already obsessed with Toni-ann, so here comes another one to love her.
I mean, naturally. I don't know how I'm a great aunt, and I'm not humble about it because I know my worth. So we shall see when he or her arrives.
Yeah, we're not finding out again because we're loonies.
He or she arrives.
He or her.
Who's the pregnant one? Because I can't speak either.
It rubs off on people.
I know. Well, I'm drinking wine, so I'm not pregnant. I'm drinking for us. I'll be drinking for us both for the next 5 months or whatever my
Yeah,
mental
hence all the
is.
hot chocolates.
Mhm. Well,
So
I said to you that you kept it under wraps on the pod well enough because when it was cozy season, I was also drinking teas and hot cocoa, so it
yeah,
wasn't
you
really
were.
suspicious.
Yeah, you were.
Yeah.
But
So
our avid listener, who's also known me since I'm 4 years old, um, she was suspect because of my cozy drinks.
the private investigators always find
Yeah,
out.
always figure it out. But yeah, um, so yeah, that's out. We'll have to, as time goes on, maybe we'll talk some more about the terrible things that, well, not the terrible things, just the unusual things that nobody tells you about when you are pregnant that you should know. So I'll
Mhm.
do you all the justice and tell you, but we'll save that for a rainy day when we have absolutely nothing to talk about, and then we can make it a topic.
Yes.
Um, okay, the last thing that I need to talk about is how last week we had a power outage. This is why the podcast one didn't get posted on time to begin with,
Yes.
because on Thursday night I lost power for hours because it just suddenly got like so windy, and then a transformer blew and a tree fell and knocked down power lines, and it was like craziness up in
Yeah.
here. So like for 3 hours we had no power, to the point where we were like, okay, I guess we'll just go to bed. It's like 8 o'clock, like we're in bed.
Enough.
And but originally we went out like gallivanting and exploring because we're trying to figure out like, all right, are they fixing this? Like who doesn't
You
have
love
power?
exploring your neighborhood as if you guys are going to solve the issue.
Okay, well, first of all, we left my kid with my mom because we were like, oh, we have all these things that we want to get done tonight, right? Like we made a whole plan of things that
That
we were
didn't
going to get
happen.
done. Every time I leave this child at my mother's house spontaneously, something happens that I don't get anything done. So this time it was the power. The other time it was the gallbladder. We went out
All
of the
right. All
emergency
right.
room. There was another time,
I
I
forgot
don't know.
about that.
It's just like every time it's something. So we go out and like I was in the middle of cooking dinner, but then I couldn't see anything, and I was like afraid that I was gonna like accidentally blow up the house, because even though it's gas, I understand, but I was just like nervous, you know? So anyway, so we go out, we go get something to eat. We're like investigating, and then we come back in the house, and my phone uh, like my phone, the brightness was all the way down, so then I like went to put it up, but I haven't put my phone on full brightness like in so long that I accidentally turned it all the
God.
way up, and I was like, this is so, who puts their phone on full bright because
That would
it's
literally blind
aggressive?
me.
I almost blinded myself. I was like, this is like a good test for your pupils, like to see if they're
That
reactive.
happens anytime I'm sitting on the couch with my mother. Sorry, I know you're watching this, and she wants to show me something. And she turns her phone to me, and I'm like, oh my God. Like it's, and she has the font big. So it's like font
Like a
big,
satellite.
like full brightness. I'm like, oh my God, I'm literally blinded right now. Like I'm seeing spots. Like, can you not?
Yes.
It's bad. I think what's my level of brightness right now? I bet you it's like, yeah, it's like that low. Like
Oh,
that's my music. But
mine's actually higher than I thought it was. Mine's a little
yeah,
higher than
well,
yours,
is it
but
the phone like kind of goes like it automatic at some points in the
yeah,
day,
I think
right?
it just did that because like I put it on do not disturb, and it's kind of like in a like
Yeah.
darker area, but like there's sometimes where it's like barely off that a
Yeah.
little cusp. I'm like,
Especially when you're laying in bed, it's like all the way down.
right, but I can't. But I also lost I lost my charger for my reading lamp. Like I have no idea where I put it, and I refused to buy another one because I'm like, I know I'm gonna find it. So I've been like reading in bed with like my flashlight
Oh
on my
yeah.
stomach, and
I've
like
done that.
I'm like, oh my God, my eyes are gonna be so damaged from it. But it's
Nah,
fine.
it's all right.
It's fine.
Yeah, it's the same when somebody doesn't have dark mode and then they like show me their white text message background and I'm like, "Oh my God." Like that's
Well,
very bright.
didn't they all like go to dark mode now? Mine
Well, every
changed to
phone
dark
has the
mode
setting.
unwillingly
Why unwillingly?
because I didn't do it. It like did it when it when it like updated,
Oh,
and
you
then
could
you were
change it back
like,
if you
you're
want
gonna
to.
like it. You're
You
gonna
will.
like it. Just leave it. I do like it now,
Hmm. The
but
minute they
it
installed that feature, I was like, "Yes, please."
took a lot to get used to for me.
Yep, and I have it on my computer. I have it on everything. because so when somebody sends me an email and it's like a white background, I'm like, what is this?
Yeah, I don't know how to do that on like the computer.
You just go in the settings. It's not that hard.
No, I don't know. I don't
Whatever.
really need it on the computer. Anyway. All right.
Anyway, I'm gonna bring up because I saw him walk behind you. This weekend we went to Melissa's and we had a nice friends weekend at her new home, at Melissa and Kyle's new home, and which was so fun and so great. But half of the day was I spent arguing with Alec and Kyle about the weather. Okay, like I swear to God, we are we 32, 33, or are we 50? Like, or even like older? I don't understand because so I like in the winter snow.
Also,
right?
it started in the car. Like,
yeah,
it went
started
on
in the
all
car
day.
on the way there. So it was me and Alec just arguing in the car on the way there about the weather, right? I mentioned because yeah, I see him back there. So I see you know, when we were driving, it was snowing, but we knew it was going to turn to rain. And then all day Sunday, it rained. Okay. And I go, oh, but we're supposed to be getting this big snowstorm on Thursday. The forecast says like 13 to 17 inches. And he immediately attacks me and goes, no way. That's impossible. There's no way that's happening. And I go, well, it's a couple of days out still. Like, yes, it could definitely change. I'm just saying that's what it says right now. He's standing there listening to my argument. He wants to argue back.
He's not. He's not there. That's the door to the other bedroom that's open.
Oh, I thought that was him standing there. Wow, that's crazy. Anyway, so
like that, I'm like, he's not there.
I thought he was literally standing like that with a hand in his pocket. That's what it looks like.
No.
Anyway, so I'm like, yes, I understand that. Like, I know how weather patterns work. It's not on the Doppler yet. It's way too early to see. And like, it could change at any moment. Like it could go north, it could go south, it could completely dissipate. I understand that. I'm just telling you what it says right now. And I was looking forward to it because I'm supposed to be going skiing this weekend. So I was like, oh, that'd be nice if we could get a nice, there he is. If we could get a nice snowstorm before skiing, right? He's still like, no way, that's not gonna happen. You're crazy. I'm like, okay, again, I'm just telling you.
I'm trying to break up this argument because I was like, you do realize that you could both be correct. Like,
right.
Toni-ann's not wrong because the phone is this. And you're not wrong because she understands that it's too far out to be accurate.
I was basically arguing with him that I understand what he's saying is correct. Like, I was arguing that he is correct. So anyway, so eventually the conversation dies down momentarily. We get to Melissa and Kyle's, and you know, at one point it was brought up again because it was snowing, then it changed to rain, and then Kyle's like, oh, it's rain, and then I was like, yeah, we might be getting good snow. And he's like, oh, he makes it even crazier, Kyle, by saying that the area they live in, Pennsylvania, never, ever, ever gets snow, never a large amount of snow. They live in some kind of sector of the atmosphere, I guess. I don't know. And they never get a significant amount of snow in all the years he's lived there, which, granted, is less than like 7 years, okay? So, cool. So anyway, so I'm like, great. Actually, even less because we lived together less than 7 years ago. Anyway,
right.
So then I have to start justifying what I'm saying to him.
Right, but both of them were acting like we'd never gotten 2 feet of snow before ever in our lives.
That's what I'm saying.
Like, in our lifetime.
I'm like, I understand that the East Coast, especially, you know, upstate and further up is different, but New York and down, you know, like we always get snow here or there, but once every like 3 years, I would say we get like a significant blizzard. Like we get a good dump, like for sure. And I thought this was it. And that's not even like, that would have been like a foot and a half. That still wouldn't have been like a crazy amount.
Right.
So I was excited, and they were shooting me down. They were shooting me down saying it can't happen. And I'm like, that's not how weather works. Just because you say it can't happen doesn't mean it won't happen. But I said to them, again, last words were, I understand it's only Saturday. That's 5 days away, and it probably won't happen. I agree with you. Sure enough, the very next day, it changes to 1 to 3 inches. And I'm like, there it is. There it is. The big snowstorm's gone. We're only going to get a sprinkle. And I'm sure Alec was like, oh, of course, this is what I was saying. And I was like, I know this is what I was saying
I think
as
it
well.
went down. I want to say it went down like to like
It's
5.
nothing
Like
now.
it went down a little bit on Sunday, and he was like, "Oh, it already went down. It already went
Yeah.
down." And then Monday we woke up and it was like 0, and he
Now
was
there's
like,
no % chance. So it just completely disappeared. So now I'm like, great.
"No, it's going across the south again." They don't even know what to do with snow. They don't deserve snow.
I know. A lot of my coworkers live in like the Carolinas, and they're like, they've already preemptively closed school for 2 days from now. I'm like,
It's ridiculous.
What are we doing? What are we doing? But I mean, they know it's ridiculous, but they really just don't know how to prepare. So
No, and they don't know how to drive, which stay off the road.
Like the buses aren't prepared. They break down. They can't do the cold. Like their infrastructure, that's more the issue than anything. So I don't blame like the people that can't send their kids to school. It's the infrastructure. But anyway, so we've now become boomers. We now just argue about the weather incessantly. And that was, like I said, a good amount of time we spent on that conversation on Saturday.
We did. Then we tried to find a news channel covering the snow because they still didn't believe you.
Yeah. I kept trying to find on they don't have cable, so I kept trying to find on their free channels like the weather, and they just kept showing flooding in Tennessee, and I'm like, well, that's not what I'm talking about. So eventually I gave up. But but
So
weather talk aside, it was a very nice day we had.
Great.
Yeah, that's that
was that. Well, on a closing note, the Mets already have an injury. This is your Met report. The Mets already have an injury because why should we have nice things before the season starts?
Mm-hmm.
And the SMY app is going bye-bye, which is interesting because as much as I did complain about that app, I kind of liked that it had like its own app and it was done. And it did get better last year. The first year it was rough, but last year it got better.
It still was never great with buffering. It always was at least like a full play behind.
Yes, it was.
Which really was annoying with my notifications going off.
But I wonder if we're gonna get Geico Sports Night on the MLB app.
It said that by opening day it'll be 24/7 coverage.
Oh, because I do being able to fall asleep to Geico Sports Night after. Also, maybe the commercials will get under control because the commercials were always so loud on the SY app.
Yes.
But not on the game.
Right.
He'd blast the game, and then you'll start to I will start to doze off during the game, and then all of a sudden it'd be like, get your New York sports here, and I'm like, what the fuck is going on in this room?
I personally love that a lot of streaming apps now, especially with sports, they'll just have a screen that says your programming will be back momentarily, and there's just no commercial at all.
Too. Yeah.
Oh, that's so nice. I think
they used to put their own commercials and then they would do that.
Yeah, I remember when I was down at Kelly's parents because because they're out of market, obviously, to get Mets games they need to get MLB season package or whatever the heck they call it. And they have on that it's just a 2-minute. If there's a 2-minute commercial break, it's the groundskeeper drawing the chalk lines or ASMR of baseball. And I was like, this is amazing.
That's
the sound of the sprinkler or something like that.
Okay, I like it.
But I encourage, if we're moving to streaming 100% now, if this is the way we're going, if we're all cord cutting and we're all getting rid of stuff, I think that apps need to integrate some kind of feature where you can in the settings say mute advertisements automatically, because I'll still look at them. You're not losing your advertising, but I just don't want to hear them.
Well, especially because they repeat the same ones over and over and over again, and you get sick of them.
I could recite them.
Right.
By the third game, I know every commercial that's going to be on.
Yep. I agree.
So we'll see. We'll see how that works. I still have it cord cutted, so I keep tempting myself with it.
I haven't either. I mean, we also need the YouTube.
Oh,
TV.
You'll get MSG back.
Yes. Well, that was part of the reason too.
Yeah.
that was part of the features that they were giving me. They were giving me MSG back for $30 a month, and I said, "Well, how am I gonna get MSG back for $30 a month?" And they were like, "Well, there's the Gotham Sports app," and I was like, "Yeah, we looked into that when you cut MSG, and it was not $30 a month." He's like, "Well, it's about $300 a year or whatever it was," and he was like, "And that
Yeah, it is.
roughly comes out to $29.99 a month." I was like, "Sure, I don't want to pay that."
No,
Like what?
I know, and I know it's being stubborn because if I did cut the cord, like I know it's such an overused word, like phrase, but whatever. I'm paying like, let's say internet is let's say if I just got Verizon internet by itself, it's like 80 a month, let's say.
Right.
Okay. That's already $100 less than what I'm paying right now for TV and cable. So why am I gonna bitch about now having to pay $30 for like my Mets games every month? Like that's still saving $70.
Well, that was the thing that the guy was saying because he was trying to give me a new package with better internet because apparently like Optimum went fiber optics. So they're like, "Oh, we could give you our new internet because you have the old internet and that's why your why your internet is slow because you have like the lower grade on the old equipment. The old equipment is outdated." And I'm like, "Well, if I have old equipment and I'm calling or I'm reaching out to people to say, 'Hi, my Wi-Fi's out again,' wouldn't you say you have old equipment? We
Yeah.
have newer stuff available."
No,
Like,
they don't
whatever.
want to give it to you.
So no, so they were like cutting my bill to like $150 and we pay like 210, whereas Verizon's gonna be like the same
Right.
price as whatever it is. And just out of principle, I still said no.
Good. Well, because again, you're getting more with Verizon and they definitely have less issues than Optimum service wise.
Well, and then like I told Toni-ann, I anonymously posted it in my resident page because like I couldn't bring myself to put my name out there.
Oh, that stupid guy.
But today some lady like commented back and was like, "We had Optimum and always experienced outages and we switched to Verizon and we haven't had any issues." So I was like, "Okay,
Good.
this nail in the coffin, great. Like, thank you so much." Because
Mhm.
I knew it wasn't only me because I talked to the lady in the vet about this as well because she said that she's the one that told me that Optimum told her it was because of the cold weather, like the cords
Yeah.
outside were
So
freezing.
stupid.
It was just so stupid. Like, you should have weatherproof cords. It's fucking cable.
And we're not in like Wisconsin or Canada.
Right.
Like, I get it gets cold, but it's not Arctic.
Right. Right.
They still have the internet up there.
It's so stupid. It was so stupid. Anyway, so come Thursday.
I'm excited
New
for you.
internet.
And now there's no blizzard coming on Thursday, so
And
you don't
there's
gotta
no
worry
blizzard.
about not getting it installed. So that's good.
Exactly.
Okay, well, good things. I think we need to create I don't know, this might make more Canva work for you, but I feel like when we talk about the Mets, we need to do like a little like jingle or something, like to start our segment.
We have said that, and I do not know how to do that, but I will try and figure it out.
Just an idea. We don't have to actually do it.
Maybe by the end of the season when I'm on maternity leave and I can like figure it out.
Yeah.
People get that.
One more piece of Mets news, not that we have to go into discussion about it, but since you mentioned you were pregnant, the Lindors are having a boy.
Yes.
Very
Which their
nice.
kid like kind of spoiled, which
Yes.
we've suspected, but
Yeah.
it's fine.
But that's
We
so
love them.
nice.
I know.
Love that. So
I love
joy
them.
for the Mets, and Juan Soto looks pretty happy so far. A week into camp. We'll see if he stays that way.
Apparently, Aaron Judge said, I heard this on the news yesterday, that he said he wasn't surprised that he went to the Mets because that's where he wanted to be. And he
Ooh.
said it's nice to have him though just across the city because we'll still get to play him and it'll keep everything like fun and alive between the two teams.
Sure. I do think it is going to add a little juice to the rivalry now, though.
I do too.
Like,
They're
it's
so
been lulling
salty.
out. Like, I
They
feel
were
like this
literally
will.
so salty that we got him.
I think it, and not that I'm not mad nor not mad that we have Pete Alonso back, but like, imagine he went to the Yankees, how like weird that dynamic would have been. Like, we had Juan Soto, he had Pete Alonso, they had Pete Alonso, and like we met. Like, that would be very interesting.
No, it wouldn't be interesting. That would be terrible. I don't want to think about that.
I know, but we don't have to, luckily. Well, who knows? Next year we're gonna be in the same boat with him again. So
I know.
Well, if he does well.
Yeah. If not, he's coming back again.
Yeah, if he sucks, then he'll probably just stay with us.
We'll be stuck with him forever.
Yeah, you hear that, Pete? Don't suck it up again. We know you hit one good home run and saved our season, but you have a lot of making up to do.
I know. Oh, that's the other thing I have to do on my DVR. Like, I have to go and I have to record Lindor's Grand Slam in the NLDS. I have to record myself in the stands during the NLDS.
You're obsessed with yourself.
Or not the division series, the CS. DS?
Yeah.
Yeah. No, DS. Division series.
Yeah.
I want to. Okay, sorry. I'm like losing my mind. No, I'm not obsessed with myself. It's just like, what if I never sit in those seats again?
Record it on your phone and then you'll have it saved forever.
Oh, I know. That's what I'm saying. I'm going to take videos of it.
Okay. Yeah.
But I don't have them on my phone right now because I just saved them on the DVR for so long.
Did you end up ever getting the 2024 yearbook?
No, I didn't look for it. Like, I forgot to watch it.
Okay.
I'll watch it. I'll find it.
I couldn't find it in the recent reshowings, but maybe it'll be on again soon. Or we'll just have to wait for that next rain delay.
Or that.
Yeah, but anyway. All right, lots to unpack this episode. That was fun.
That was fun. Thanks for being our friend. We'll see you next week with one episode next week, not two.
Yes, absolutely. All right, guys. Bye.
Bye.
Hi, friends. Wow, you listened to the whole thing. Thanks for listening. Please be sure to subscribe on YouTube and your favorite podcast platform and share it with your friends. Ratings, reviews, and comments help as well. See you next week. Thanks for being our friend.